There'll be glitches around, just not skipping major parts of the game.
Okay, good. I was getting worried about this being a glitch. And as we say, it looks like our race is now underway.
We haven't introduced the runners yet, so we have Mamgar, who's playing his first run of the tournament, race of the tournament, against the world record holder Tky619 or Tky619.
And one thing you may notice about Turkey is that he is such a man that he doesn't even need the live sprint timer. He just uses his phone and a webcam. Now, the reason for that is because Turkey runs on PS4. Wow. Mamgar, I'm pretty sure runs on PC. Not entirely sure, but it really doesn't make a difference what console you run it on. The only really major difference is the PC tends to crash, as I experienced earlier in the tournament. But that's completely random, and it doesn't happen often enough where I'd say we should worry about it. So you just saw actually the first instance of a risky shuffle. You notice that the runners went back and forth just a little bit. That's how you do a risky shuffle. Basically, well, we haven't talked about pirate mode first. Let me say that. Pirate mode is what we'll be playing on, and in this game, pirate mode is basically a new game plus in which you have all the items that you would collect in a normal game. That allows you to do stuff like get 3 extra jumps with the cannonball, do some scimitar smashing with the scimitar, float with a hat, and also we can run really fast with risky boots.
Yeah, the players are on the first boss fight of the game, Ammo Baron. The way Ammo Baron works is he can do one of 3 things. He can charge at you up to 4 times. He can shoot up to 2 black cannonballs, and then he can shoot a red cannonball. Once you hit the red cannonball back into him, he'll knock him out of his tank, and then you can hit him a few times.
Mamgar having a little bit of trouble getting tagged with the red cannonball instead of hitting it. However, if he plays his cards right, shouldn't be too much of a problem. Looks like he's now done. And this is going to be an interesting race because I don't know Mamgar's PB right off the bat, but I'm pretty sure. Do you know his PB?
I remember it's been pretty good, but I don't think he's done a new one in a while. I think it's around 55-ish.
So yeah, that's a very decent PB, but
Turkey... It's 57 minutes, but nice. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, so Mamgar may be having a little bit of rust against the madman Turkey, who plays this game and like 50 other Shantae games in like 50 different categories, 24/7 basically. So it's gonna be an interesting race. Does that mean that we should be writing Mamgar off already? Absolutely not. As I mentioned, there are certain things that can happen that could put Mamgar in the lead very quickly, like if Turkey was to die, or just plain RNG.
Yeah, RNG can play a big factor in the run depending on what item drops they get. I think it was Turkey's last race, he had almost no drops throughout the entire run, and that can sort of cost you a lot of time across all the bosses and additional time if you decide to farm up for items instead.
Yes, definitely. As the runners are just finishing up, is the first Cackle Bat fight, and I hope you don't get too attached to the Cackle Bat because we're not going to see another one, really. Well, I mean, we'll see them, but we won't fight another one ever again. And that's because it's any percent, meaning that we will not be doing the true ending of Shantae, and so Pirate Master will go kind of free in the end, but that's fine because doing any percent is much faster than doing the true ending.
Well, how true are we talking? Are we talking the true percent that you got during your first race?
No, we're talking the actual true ending, not the better true ending.
So Turkey making his way across Scarecrow Fields, hoping for some drops off these Scarecrows, and he gets the Pike Ball, which would be very nice. He'll probably use that on his way back through to kill the first 3 orcs to hopefully get some more gems.
Absolutely. Picking up a bento box as well. That's going to be handy for, well, there's 2 things that bento box we use for. Maybe picking up some extra health if things become dire. But more than likely we'll see him use it for an animation skip, which you need a food item of sorts to use. But right now, Turkey implementing one of our first glitches, in which he will use the scimitar to jump up and then slam down on the snake in close quarters, which basically kills the snake multiple times, allowing for multiple drops of the flesh pops that we need to continue. I didn't count how many he got, but looks like he might have just gotten 3.
Yeah, he might have gone 3 off the first one, but yeah, he's definitely got the ones he needs, and then Mamgar getting a good number. I think it's 5, if I saw that correctly on Mamgar's side.
The Mamgar trying the animation skip, not quite getting it.
Yeah, I didn't see what Mamgar got through Scarecrow Fields. I did see a bento box at the end, but I didn't see if he got anything from the Scarecrows themselves.
Yeah, I think the bento box is about all Mamgar got from the lovely Scarecrows. Which, you know, not better than nothing, you know? So, runners are now heading to this kind of creepy old man, but that's fine because we only see him for a little bit, to grab the Forbidden Isle map, which will allow us to go to our first true island to go on to glory and adventure.
Yeah, so as Turkey leaves the palace here, we most likely will see him use his pike ball.
There it is.
Goes.
Gain another bento box. Very useful.
Yeah, so having more than one of the same food item is especially useful because in the vast majority of places, another pike ball, in the vast majority of places you want to do an animation skip, you'll be doing multiple in a row, so having the same item selected can save a little bit of time.
If you saw, one of the Scarecrows dropped another item, but Turkey was just too fast and didn't pick it up, unfortunately.
It was definitely a monster milk.
Yeah, I know. Probably a super pike ball, you know? Skipped it. What a shame. So, Turkey, doing his first shopping trip, will pick up 3 pirate flares and then a super pike ball, which we will be using later on to run the second boss. But for now, we're moving on to Saliva Island. So Saliva Island, as it being the first dungeon, not much to actually do here. So he's going to run through here, kill that one thing, that poor thing that he always kills. You know, hoping for a drop. But more importantly, we're looking to gain access to this first dungeon, and do that, we go all the way over here, and eventually we'll see these 2 lovely young ladies on their vacation with some nice giant ham.
Yeah, unfortunately, they came to go by the pool here, but the water's dried up, so Shantae's got to go and fix that problem. And if the name of the island's anything to go by, we might be able to figure out where the water's coming from.
Yeah, it's coming from that giant thing. Turkey not going for the full Gigalumic skip, but it is getting the blink skip. If you notice that you saw that he paused and unpaused roughly 3 times, meaning that it skips the animation of the Gigalumix blinking his eyes open because he's sleepy, and that saves a few seconds. The full animation skip consists of you falling down into that pit in front of the Gigalumix, which skips not only the blinking but also the animation of the sucking the sting up. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed this as well, but Mamgar seems to take a detour and gotten the ring.
Yeah, he's probably I don't think he's run the game in a little while, so he's probably forgotten some parts of it. But yeah, maybe he just wants to give the ring to someone. Maybe he's saving it for Rotty Tops.
Maybe he's just so good that he can do the any % time and still beat Turkey. I mean, the 100% run. I believe it.
So yeah, Turkey bring the petrify spell back to the or petrify tablet back to this man whose wife had been petrified, and for some reason he thinks that by using the petrify spell it will unpetrify her, but it doesn't work that way, unfortunately.
Yeah, no one's really sure why he thinks that's a good idea. But Turkey now going into one of the hidden dungeons, well, the only hidden dungeon that I'm aware of, which this dungeon is cool because it mimics the first dungeon of the first Shantae game pretty closely, if not perfectly, and unfortunately we don't get to go through all of the dungeon in this run because we're on a time limit. But what we will do is grab 2 keys, which keys are very important in this run because, as we said, this is no out of bounds, meaning that we can't just glitch our way through some doors. We gotta actually unlock them. And we're going to be stockpiling some keys up here for a specific instance in Tan-Line Temple. But for now, you know, we're just going to hold on to those keys and, you know, rub them a few times for good luck.
So both players are going to be doing a virtual high five here as Mamgar enters as Turkey exits.
So Turkey now continuing on to this dungeon. There's not much more left to this dungeon. Like I said, it's the first dungeon. It's going to be very, very quick. I see some snakes dropping in. They're just coming in to say hi. Don't worry about them.
Yeah, so the pit below where those snakes appeared, you can go down there to get an additional key, or you can choose to get the key in the next dungeon. Most players choose to get it in the next dungeon because there's an additional drop chance there, so they can get some additional drops. So they go for that key instead.
Yes, one of the cool things about this category is that there is some choice involved with it, as there's an option for about 11 keys, I believe, but you have the choice to skip 2 of them. So which ones you skip is slightly up to you. Obviously, there are some that are faster, but there are also some that, you know, allow for more drops and so forth. So so far, I'm pretty sure all of the people in this race have done the exact same route. It's probably because it's faster, but you never know. You know, that's a cool thing. There could be a route that, you know, we could decide one day is just so much better, and, you know, you never know.
Yeah, I know in his last race, Turkey decided to go for a key in Tan-Line Temple to try that out. So I don't know if he's going to do that again today, or if he's going to go back to the normal key in Frostbite Island instead, but we'll get to that later on.
So Turkey now on the first boss, the giant Cyclops plant, which, you notice, this is really the first instance where we really get to abuse the New Game Plus. You know, that boss is not supposed to go by that fast, in case you were wondering, but because we have not only the cannonball, but also the scimitar, we can get ourselves stuck in between the giant eyeball and the healer, which does massive damage. And if you missed it, don't worry, you'll be able to see Mamgar do it very shortly. But even then, it'll still be really quick, so I recommend you don't blink until it's done, because you don't want to miss it. And there it is, giant eyeball.
Yeah, so Turkey running back from the entrance of the dungeon instead of using a pirate flare. The reason for that is there's really a limited number of pirate flares we can afford throughout the run, and the run back from that dungeon to the boat is a lot shorter than all the other islands, so just makes sense to skip that one. You'd only save, I think, 10 seconds if you had a pirate flare there, so not too long.
Yeah, so another cool thing about running Shantae and the Pirates Cruise is that there's the RNG is definitely a factor always in this run, but, you know, it's, in my opinion, it's never enough of a factor where, you know, you can get screwed up to the point where you just need to reset. You know, you can always finish the run no matter what RNG you get, but the RNG does make the runners have some different strategies, or have to make some decisions, and that makes the runs very interesting from first to first.
Yeah, our RNG basically decides what items you have to buy when, if you have to buy items, what items you use on certain bosses. It just requires you to think a lot.
So now, there you go ahead.
Yeah, constantly recalculating sort of the items you need and how many gems you need as you're going through the run. So just that's always in the back of the runner's head as they're going along, as well as having to execute on the gameplay at the same time.
And now Turkey is on everybody's favorite part, Run Run Roddy Top.
It's especially his favorite part.
Oh yeah, he loves it. Just ask him next time. Next time you see him, just ask him how much he loves Run Run Roddy Tops. I'm sure he'll tell you. It's a lot, by the way. So, you'll notice. So basically, the whole thing with Run Run Roddy Tops is that it's this game's auto-scroller, essentially. We're not able to use any of our items or anything because we're carrying Ryotops, who is pretending that she got bit by a spider because she's a jerk, but that's okay, because I love her. And basically the idea is everything that you touch that isn't like part of the background or the land will hurt you, and if you get hurt, then Shantae explodes into a million pieces and then gets teleported back to the beginning of the section of Run Run Ryotops they are on. And that becomes especially dangerous by the end as the rooms just get longer.
Yeah, so yeah, the opening few rooms you just have some spikes to dodge, a couple hands, tongues here and there, but later on it will sort of combine it all together, add some additional factors in there, and yeah, rooms get a lot longer, so deaths are more punishing.
Luckily, in this game, in this part, you can't get a game over. That would really suck if we could get a game over on Run Run Ryotops. That would just be absolutely terrible. So Turkey now on the tombstone part of the run. This is where RNG kind of becomes a factor in Run Run Ryotops. We know which tombstones will pop up, but when they pop up is completely RNG, or if they pop up even at all.
Yeah, Turkey having no problem at all with the tombstone room as Mamgar's working his way through one of the last spike rooms before he himself will be in the tombstone room. So I believe the room Turkey now is the longest room in it. I think it's slightly longer than the last room. But yeah, it's one of the two longest rooms for sure, so a death later on in this room can be very costly.
For sure. Yeah, I think this may be the longest one, but, you know, the last one is the most likely to die in, I think. Turkey now coming up to the enemies that I so lovingly call Stevens, and apparently that's caught on in the community, I don't know why. But there's the Stevens right there. The little white things that shoot other white things at you that kind of look like brain suckers. And he's coming up on what we call the Gates of Hell, and whether the Gates of Hell are open or not, we'll see. Looks like they are very close for him, unfortunately. So he's going to lose a little bit of time because of that, but also that's not really anything he could have controlled.
Yeah, no, nothing to do about that, and he didn't get trolled by the Stevens on top of that as well. So sometimes you can get the gates being closed and then the little Steve's in the wrong place that you can't even make it through on the second cycle.
Yeah, that's always disheartening when you see that. Pretty annoying.
Yeah, Turkey on the final room of Run Run Ryotops now, so you'll see pretty much every single enemy, every single mechanic we've encountered throughout, all put into one place.
Yep, and this part gets a little... That part especially gets pretty tight at some points, but the tombstones were pretty nice to him, not bullying him. And now Turkey is officially done with Run Run Ryotops. All he has to do is deliver Ryotops to her family, and then leave forever. Not forever, because we go see him again one more time, but basically forever.
Yeah, Turkey making a really good time at the moment. Fantastic pace. And the gates of hell are open for Mamgar, so as you can see there, the first set of gates are open, so we can just run straight on through.
Yeah, I don't believe Turkey took any deaths during that.
I didn't see him take any. I don't think Mamgar's taken any either, unless he got caught by Gatekeeper.
I don't believe he did. So we'll see if Mamgar can get through this death list as well, which if he does will help him a lot with catching up, you know, with Turkey. All-time save is a good save. Also, you'll see that the shriveled thing smells on Turkey's screen.
Yeah, one of the few text boxes you can't skip in the game is it smells.
Yeah, it's super important to the story and the lore. It basically just unlocks, everything, story-wise, It's just so important.
So the players, virtual high-fiving again as they Turkey about to enter the next dungeon as Mamgar just running past to drop off Rotty Tops.
Yeah, Keklo Tower, my least favorite dungeon, but that has nothing to do with no out of bounds. It's purely because of the out of bounds rounds. Also, Turkey getting a super pike ball from the random skeleton. Very lucky.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, he does have a normal pike ball, so he'll be able to use that on the Batgirl in this room here. Just speed up slightly and hopefully get a quicker cycle.
Yeah, this is one of the rooms that almost every player will go to. Simply because that Batgirl has a chance to drop some real good stuff, including not only a super pike ball, but also that super monster milk, which Turkey just got, which is definitely the ideal thing that you want to get from her.
Yeah, that super pike ball and super monster milk drop are very, very nice for Turkey. He'll be extremely happy with those, and that's basically all the supplies he needs for one of the boss fights coming up.
Turkey's RNG has been definitely in his favor so far. I wouldn't be surprised if he decides to go for the 2 shopping trips. But we'll see what he decides to do. Mamgar just now entering Cackle Tower as Turkey ascends up the tower and towards the second boss of the game, which is the Empress Spider Queen giant thingamajig that I don't like because it's spooky.
Yeah, very spoopy indeed. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see the strategy Turkey's going to be using here, which will be getting inside of the... As Mamgar gets a super pike ball, getting inside the spider's hitbox using the super pike ball. And if you whip just as you're about to be hit by the spider, you won't get knocked back and your jump will reset, so basically you can just stay within the hitbox all the time. And Mamgar also getting the super monster milk, so 2 really, really lucky drops for both players.
RNG basically identical. Turkey doing a great job staying in the hitbox.
The Empress Spider not moving much at all.
Yeah, the Empress Spider just wants to move even just a little bit. Turkey's not allowing her to do that at all. He's down to 1 health. But it doesn't matter. He gets the kill without having to use his auto potion. What a quick kill.
Yeah, that was a fantastic... Oh, yeah, he took it a bit safe towards the end because he didn't want to risk using his auto potion. But yeah, he made it through nonetheless and kept his auto potion, so that's important.
So, Turkey now getting the Tan Line Island map, which means that we're going to be going to Tan Line Temple, boys. Hope you like deserts. I love this. They're nice and hot, and I hate the cold.
Yeah, they're a bit sandy though. I'm not particularly fond of sand.
I know, it is coarse and it gets everywhere. But nonetheless, Shantae doesn't care about sand as she's a genie, so she'll be charging right along through there.
Yeah, so in the first room of Tan Line Temple, there's a number of cactus enemies that Turkey will be hoping to get a bubble shield off because he requires at least one of those out the run, but more importantly, he'll be wanting a monster milk drop. And he didn't get it.
He will have another chance as we will have to come back through here. However, what's going to be happening now is Turkey will be getting from our good friend the Squid Baron some X-ray specs, which will then begin the first fetch quest, as it were, of the game, in which we're going to be going back to Saliva Island and then to Scuttle Town to get some mummy sketches, which will help us unlock the door to Tan Line Temple and Metal Gear Shantae.
So Mamgar having a very good Empress Spider fight. He seemed to take it a bit easy, but play it safe to begin with, but then yeah, at the end he started getting inside the hitbox and finishing off the boss very quickly, so good fight by him as well.
Yeah, the getting stuck in the Empress Spider hitbox, it definitely looks easy, but in practice it's a lot more difficult than you would think. So taking it easy, especially if this is Mamgar's first run in a long time, definitely understandable. So you can now go into the first mummy sketch. Grabbing that. And then shooting on out of here. Meanwhile, Mamgar now just going through all the cactus, but the cactus is not being very nice today, as they don't want to give him anything either.
It appears they're out of milk. So Mamgar's choosing to kill a Scorpgal here, who can drop either 5 gems, as you saw there, a super monster milk, or a super pike ball. So choosing to kill that extra one that Turkey decided to skip on the chance of getting a drop.
Turkey now killing Joe, as Joe decides to read a inscription on the mummy sketch that basically says whoever reads this is going to die. And he's like, alright, sounds good to me. And then, boop, there he goes, he's dead. Turkey opting to buy some potions, I believe I saw.
Yeah, he bought, 4 potions, 5 pirate flares, and a bubble shield. So he is indeed going for no more shops. He's got everything he needs, in theory, except for he would like some monster milks and pike ball drops.
Yeah, so well, there's the monster milk that he may need.
Yeah, so he'll be looking for 2 more monster milks throughout the run, and hopefully, well, there's the super pike ball, so I don't
There's
know
another one.
So yeah, that's 3 super pike balls for him. So he's missing 1 for the ideal setup, but he'll be happy with 3.
Definitely. Yeah, it looks like Turkey's got a pretty stuffed inventory right there. So, what the 2 shop strat does for him is not only does it allow him to skip some areas or some time wasting things that we have to do to get money, but also allows him to skip 2 shopping trips, or 2 shopping trips at most, which can definitely save a lot of time. But it is a little bit risky, as when you do the 2 shopping trips, you're relying at least a little bit on RNG.
Yeah, so most RNG drops in the run come in this next section that Turkey's about to get into. So by doing the shop beforehand, you're guessing that you have everything you need, and you're hoping you get all the drops you need there.
Turkey now going on to Metal Gear Shantae. This is the stealth part of Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, as Shantae has been captured, as people think that our lovely heroine Shantae is their princess. However, she is not. Obviously, she's just a half genie. So Turkey's now going to have to avoid those big guards, or if they see him at all, even just like, you know, some ankle of hers or something, they are going to send her back to the beginning of this section, which can waste up to like a minute and 15 seconds.
Yeah, so Mamgar from the shop, he bought a single potion, 3 pirate flares, and I believe a super pike ball as well. So he needs another 2 pirate flares for his run ideally, so he'll be going back to the shop later on.
So he's navigating the last stealth room.
Yeah, and gets that no problem at all. So he's on a fantastic pace at the moment. Might be a sub 51 pace.
I wouldn't be surprised, because you know, it's Turkey, the man, the myth, the legend.
The bird, the myth, the legend.
Oh yes, my bad. So if you're wondering why we were saving up some of those keys, this is why, as we gotta unlock 3 doors to save the gals. The first one, of course, being Risky, as Shantae was taking too long, and Risky decided to go and investigate and got captured. Sky is, for some reason, in his temple because she thought she could find a cure for Joe, Joe's deadness. And for some reason, Roddy Tops is here, because she's Roddy Tops. She just wanted to be here.
So yeah, Mamgar choosing to kill another Scorpgal, not getting anything off that. I don't believe he got a single super pike ball on his way through the skeletons / zombies as well, so yeah, he'll be looking for a few drops.
Yeah, that's a bit rough, especially if you don't get anything from the 50 skeletons on that way.
I don't think Turkey took all their super pike balls, so...
And that's those birds, man. They'll take all your stuff if you give them the chance. So Turkey is now out of Ten Lime Temple and will make his way to the dungeon of this island. Very, very simple dungeon. All we're going to be doing is navigating our way to a purple block room, and we'll break that, kill some things, try not to get crushed, and then we're at the boss fight. Simple as that, right?
Yeah, very simple. So Mamgar choosing to get 60 additional gems up here, so he just wants... Oh, he's only getting 30 of them, so there's another 30 on the other side, but he's choosing just to get half of them.
Yeah, Mamgar not feeling too confident in his RNG. Understandable, as you know, RNG's not been as favorable to him as it has to Turkey. As Turkey now enters the lost category.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting if Turkey charges to the right here to get that key, or if he just goes for what is the regular strategy. Yeah, he's not going to get the key from the room on the right, which has an additional Scorpgal in it that you can kill. So he's happy enough with his RNG, then he doesn't feel like he needs that extra kill.
Mamgar opting to take a safer approach to that final stealth room than Turkey. Turkey gained another monster milk.
Yes, I believe that's 2 regular and 1 supers now, so he just wants 1 more and doesn't get it. So he's got 5 super pikes, more than he needs.
Yeah, and of course, Turkey, being the RNG god that he is right now, gets another super pike ball. And gets the 1 cycle on the Crusher room.
Yeah, so it's a bit difficult to set up that 1 cycle. You have to do the very technical counting of butt wiggles to figure out when to go. Yeah, very precise trick to do, but you can get 1 cycle there as opposed to having to wait, which saves a lot of time.
Yep, so now we're on our good friends, the Squid Baron, which seems like Turkey has opted to use just a super pike ball and a normal monster milk instead of a super monster milk. However, that shouldn't be too much of a problem, or if it's any problem at all, it probably won't be.
That's definitely not a problem for Turkey. So you see there he glides in the air with his hat before coming down on Squid Baron. That was because he killed him in the first phase before Squid Baron started his additional charge. So he knew that if he waited before he struck him down, he would go straight into the eating phase.
Yeah, so Squid Baron is one of those fights where you really want to have some good items, as you know, if you don't do enough damage to him, he'll start eating, and that eating, as you saw, replenishes his health. But if you have the right items, you can not only in the first stage beat him before he even eats, but then in the second stage you can out damage his healing. So we'll see if what Mamgar chooses to use as he now approaches the Squid Baron place.
Mamgar getting the super monster milk off the Scorpgal there.
Yeah, that'll definitely be useful. Turkey now going through the necessary steps to get through the Mudbog Islands, which is everybody's worst nightmare because it sucks. But as you'll see when we get there, Mudbog Island has a lot of enemies, and they all hurt quite a bit. So the idea here is that there's very precise jumps and stuff that you want to do so that you don't ever stop moving forward. You don't ever get out of the risky dash. As you see, Turkey probably gonna do it perfectly because it's Turkey. But if you were to stop, if you were to mess up, he would be swarmed by enemies more than likely and take a lot of damage. Possibly even have to use his auto potion. Of course, though, it seems like he's done it.
Yeah, Turkey gets through that no problem. So Mamgar having a very nice last Scorpgal room, getting a bubble shield, a monster milk, and a super monster milk, and clearing it out with no issues at all.
Yeah, the game may be taking a little bit of pity on Mamgar. Probably not. It's probably just accidental. The game doesn't like to take pity on us.
So yeah, Mamgar choosing to have a safety save there. At the moment, if you in this game, if you die, you get taken back to your last save. However, normally in the runs, we don't save except at the start where we have the mandatory save. So if you die, your run's basically over normally, but because the tournament race, mamgar deciding to take that safety save, so if he dies, you can continue on.
And mamgar pulling out all the stops using the super pipe ball and the super monster. Turkey now is gathering some coins so that we can do the nice little fun RNG mini game in which we'll have 3 gamers and they will ask you to guess whether they flip heads or tails. We have to get it right all 3 times, or else we have to restart the mini game. And you may be wondering, well, how do we know if it'll be heads and tails? And the answer is we have no freaking idea because the game hates us and it's just completely RNG. So we're simply gonna spam the heads button and hope that we don't get screwed over.
We always know it's heads, tails anyway, so...
That's true. We should honestly just start doing heads, tails, I guess.
Yeah, mamgar finishing up on Townline Island now, so he'll be heading back to pick up his death mask.
Now Turkey now entering the mini game. So take your bets, chat.
Heads, tails.
Got the heads, tails. Every time. There's 1 tails. That's another tails. So the nice thing about this mini game is that if you fail 3 times, the game just does kind of just go, well, I mean, I guess you tried, and gives us the win. So Turkey will now move on. However, not the greatest RNG, but also not the worst, as it is possible to get heads, tails 3 times, which is quite annoying. Turkey now using the Hopeful Flame to summon this nice, beefy, manly dude who will give us his manly musk. And we're... Chat, bear with me. We're gonna use the manly musk to open up the dungeon. Because for some reason, the dungeon can smell. I mean, I have no explanation for it. It can smell.
Yeah, a lot of things seem to smell in this game. The dungeon, the shriveled thing.
Yeah, wait for it. Definitely does not like explaining things ever. So it leaves us with a lot of questions.
Yeah, so in this dungeon, you'll see probably the biggest or most important use of the risky shuffle. Normally, you'd have to line up all these lifts in a row so you can get enough room to charge up there. But using the risky shuffle, we don't need any of them. We can just go down, charge along, and skip 80% of the dungeon.
Yeah, it's quite useful. So now Turkey is on Dagron. Dagron is an interesting boss because he's one of those bosses that kind of have a domino effect, meaning that if you get hit by him once, you're more than likely going to get hit by him again, just simply by its pattern. Turkey opting not to use any of his monster milk, instead just going to use the super pike ball.
Yeah, he was a milk down, so I think Dagron makes the most sense to not use it on out of the remaining 3 bosses.
That is true. If there was any boss that I think if we had to just go itemless, I think Dagron would probably be the best one. Turkey taking a hit at the end, but will not matter as Dagron is now forever lost into the void. Meanwhile, mamgar now having picked up all 3 coins, I believe, and will go test his own luck. However, getting tapped by the ghosts. Those ghosts, quite annoying, as they can basically spawn wherever they like. We do have sort of an idea of where they can spawn. However, they just kind of do whatever they want.
But yeah, Turkey's on a really good pace now, probably close to a 50, maybe just below 51, but yeah, he's round about 50, 51 pace, which is very, very fast.
But as every Shantae runner knows, doesn't matter what pace you're on, if Steel Maggot isn't feeling very friendly, then your run is gonna take some hits.
So Turkey might decide to kill some wolves on his way through Frostbite, hoping for a Super Monster Milk. Don't think he will, because he doesn't need the gems either, and the Super Monster Milk is extremely rare off them, but it doesn't slow you down too much if you do decide to go for it.
And they're definitely the last chance that you'll have to gather some of those items for free. As after this, there's not really going to be any more good item dropping enemies.
Yeah, you could kill the scarecrows on your way back through Scarecrow Fields hoping for a Monster Milk, but
that is true.
That's about it.
I did forget about those. But
no, Turkey choosing to avoid all the wolves, which makes perfect sense. He's got a milk for each boss, so he knows what he's doing.
Turkey now climbing up to Propeller Town, which is not a dungeon per se, but just a place that we're gonna have to run through to begin the second fetch quest of the game, which will open up the last, in quotes, dungeon.
Yeah, if we weren't playing in pirate mode, there'd be a lot more fetch quests, but fortunately, because we have items ahead of when we're meant to get them, it means we can get a couple items earlier, that lets us skip some backtracking.
Yeah, you'll see Turkey utilizing the cannon, almost taking a hit there, but manages to catch himself with the hat. At this point, the game expects you to have every item except the cannon, so the amount of abuse that we can give the game becomes a lot smaller. However, there's still just enough for us to make it fast.
Yeah, unfortunately, that fall's going to cost a good 5 seconds or so, which isn't great for the pace Turkey's on if he is hoping for a sub 51. But he's still making really good time. Not the biggest of losses, because mamgar having a very good Dagron fight there.
Shantae now yelling at Bolo and giving us the first item that we need for this fetch quest. Now, Turkey will go to Spiderweb Island, back to the place where we did Run Tops, but instead of doing all that good stuff, we're simply going to go back to Tops' little hut and find out whose soul that lost soul is. It's a great mystery. Mamgar now just entering Frostbite Islands as we have Turkey giving Lost Soul over to find out, wow, it's the spirit of Joe. Remember Joe? He's the guy that kind of committed seppuku by reading the pirate sketch, and we're also going to turn in the death mask for an extra free pirate flare. Yes, you heard that right, a free pirate flare. Come on down and get yours today for the low price of one death mask. What a steal. Turkey now heading over to where we began the game in order to give the sword that we found at Tan Line Island to the true hero of the game, our good friend Ransom. Now, what I want to know is if Turkey will go for the Nutbuster.
I think he's missed it, but is he going to adjust?
I really want him to.
Is his run valid or not?
Please do it. Do it.
Oh, he's a chicken. Oh.
Come on.
He's been downgraded from turkey to chicken.
Everybody's got to fall eventually, I guess. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become not a Nutbuster. So now giving the spirit of Joe back to Joe so that he's once again alive, and handing over the module to the bad guy so that he can fire at the pallets. But luckily, Bolo done messed up, and somehow we end up hitting the exact spot where the dungeon is.
Maybe Bolo didn't mess up. Maybe he had it all planned this time.
You know, that is one of the great questions of this game. I don't have any trust in Bolo though.
No, he probably messed up.
Yeah. So Turkey now heading to the quote-unquote last dungeon of the game. This is again going to be a fairly simple dungeon. Not much too exciting going to be happening, except for some potion item pickup skips, as he bought those earlier.
Yeah, and Turkey's going to be got switched to food as well, so he's going to be using his bento box here to collect this key.
So, this dungeon, I was trying to remember the name of it, but could not remember it. What's the name of this dungeon?
I can't remember if it's abandoned or forgotten, but abandoned factory maybe?
Ah, yes, that sounds right. So, abandoned factory is home to our favorite boss, the RNG boss known as Steel Maggot. And basically what's going to happen in this boss is that the boss is going to have 3 buttons on his back, and we must hit the buttons in order using the cannonball, and only then can we hurt him. Now, this is another instance where you may be wondering, well, how do we know what the order is? And then once again, I say to you, we have no idea. So, we're gonna...
Yeah, we do. It's always the ones you don't press.
I mean, that is true. So, as you see Turkey getting some bad RNG, this is where Steel Maggot really can decide the fate of your run at some point.
Yeah, if he had an extra bubble shield, he could use it here to float in the air and avoid those projectiles, but because he doesn't, then he's got to take a little bit of damage or, dodge the bullets, slowing it down slightly.
Turkey, in that case, was actually a little bit too close to Steel Maggot. The pike ball not being able to hit, however, he should be able to get it next cycle. Just hope that his RNG is good.
Yeah, I think he's only a couple hits away from getting it. He was, fairly unlucky there not to get it that cycle.
And there goes, they only need one more hit. It's always one. So not a bad Steel Maggot fight at all. Not too brutal. And with the Steel Maggot down, we're going to be moving on to end the tyranny of Pirate Master. So Shantae will now be sailing along with Risky to the Lonely Grave, which is where Pirate Master, his soul or what have you, resides right now. And we're gonna go there, and he's gonna be like, Slake, I'm actually still alive. And things are gonna go bad. Turkey showing that seagull who's boss. And there's the very, very spooky Pirate Master. Pretty spooky, chat. Might want to avert your eyes.
He's gone now, you can look.
For now.
But you have to close them again in a couple of minutes.
Yeah. Don't worry, we'll tell you when.
So Turkey's going to be making his way through Scarecrow Fields? Ex-Scarecrow Fields? The place that was formerly known as Scarecrow Fields? For one final time, heading to the palace, which is now inhabited by the Pirate Master.
Yeah, so once we awaken Pirate Master, he kind of goes to Skull Town and kills everyone, but he's also ready to E10 games, so he doesn't kill everyone. They just kind of don't go outside.
So yeah, it looks like Turkey's on for a low to mid 51 pace currently, with that RNG on Steel Maggot hurting him a little bit.
Yep, so TK is now embracing his inner Miley Cyrus and doing the climb. Basically, the deal with this is that we're not supposed to be able to reach some of these platforms, but using the hat gives you just ever so slightly a boost, and just enough of a boost to get onto some of these platforms. However, the timing is sometimes a real pain. But Turkey, of course, being the master turkey that he is, not having any trouble with whatsoever.
So yeah, mamgar picking up his last key, and he's going to be heading into Steel Maggot any moment as Turkey is about to fight Pirate Master.
So the important thing to note about Pirate Master is that his attacks will one-shot you. Guaranteed. The only thing that won't one-shot you about Pirate Master is you just running into them. So that's why the bubble shield is so important, because they just kind of make his attacks, his bubble attacks, ineffective. So at that point, it's all up to Turkey spamming his button to make sure that the lasers that will appear don't hit him. However, I don't think he'll be too worried about that.
And there we go, Turkey finishing in first place with an official SRL time of 51:17. Very nice run.
That was an extremely fast Pirate Master fight. Meanwhile, on Mamgar's side, doing some Steel Maggot fights, getting that perfect positioning for the Super Pike Ball to be able to hit and make Steel Maggot become a angel and levitate into the sky.
Yeah, very nice Steel Maggot kill by Mamgar there. I think Mamgar might be on PB pace if his 57-minute PB is accurate.
Definitely possible. Mamgar now heading over to the Pirate Master grave to wake up Pirate Master again. You know, we know that Turkey just killed him, but don't worry about it. We're gonna kill him again. Make sure he's dead. Super dead.
Super duper dead. Can never be too sure.
Yeah, I mean, especially with someone as crafty as Pirate Master, you want to make sure that he's super duper dead.
So while we're waiting for Mamgar to finish up, let's bring Turkey in for an interview.
Do it.
Hello, Turkey. Congratulations on that run.
Cheers, buddy. Appreciate it. Oof. Christ.
Yeah, that was a very good run. Very good Pirate Master fight, especially. Very fast.
Yeah, I can't really complain. Pretty much got majority of the drops I wanted. I would have liked an extra milk for sure, but apart from that, pretty solid. So nothing really to complain about.
Yeah, I
mean, maybe not too happy with my Maggot fight, but apart from that,
I mean,
Maggot did give you a little bit of troubles, but I mean, like you said, that RNG was on point, allowed you to do the two shops.
Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, the early RNG was really good. Mid game was all right. As I say, one more milk would have pretty much cinched it all for certainty. Unfortunately, I got an extra Super Pike Ball instead, but no, it's always good to have spares.
I mean, you did get another milk drop. It was just in the Scarecrow Fields, and you left it behind.
Yeah,
it could have been. It could have very well been. For all I know.
It probably was.
I don't like to stop though.
So was there anything that really that stood out in that run from any other runs?
To be fairly honest, it's mainly the Maggot that really caught me off guard, because I was sure I was on at least enough position to be able to score a 2-cycle with the setup I used, but as soon as he put his tail away and went for another round, I was like, wait, what? Then I've remembered I did have a slight delay at the beginning, once I exposed his tail on the first phase, so that could have been it. Shantae failed to grab a chain, but that could have been my fault as well. I thought I pressed up on the chain, didn't happen. It was like, oh, okay, well, let's try this again. But apart from that, everything else went very well, and took it intentionally safe at the end of the spider fight because I had a good feeling that I didn't score enough damage going for fast cycle, and I'd much rather keep that auto potion in a tournament setting for sure. So pulled back and then just tried to strike the damage as I could.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
So if it weren't for that maggot, it could have, well, it might have just about scraped sub 51, but I'm not 100% on that. Well, maybe next race. Maybe next race.
Anything's possible here in the Shantae tournament.
Oh, still got one to go before my group phase ends.
So Mamgar just working on Pirate Master now, and he should be done any minute now. And yeah, as long as his PB's not outdated, this is going to be a new PB for him.
Yeah, I believe he still has. Yep, there's his auto potion, but not a big deal, as you know. Still had it, and ends with that time.
Yeah, so yeah, Mamgar finishing in second place with an official SRL time of 55 minutes and 50 seconds.
Not bad at all.
Let's see if Mamgar wants to come in for an interview. And there he is, let's bring him in. GG, Mamgar, nice run.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, GG, buddy.
GG. Despite my best efforts, I didn't beat the #1 seed, but
it was a valiant effort, I would say. Was that a PB for you, Mamgar?
it was a PB by 1 minute 7 seconds.
Very nice.
No, it was more than that actually, and I went for some pretty slow strategies and a lot of safeties.
Yeah, like that ring strategy, not seen that in a while.
Which one?
Getting the ring on Saliva Island. That's not something you need to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of strategies I wasn't familiar with, and when I did run this game, I didn't run this category for long because I switched to the out of bounds category, so I still got to deal with that muscle memory.
I understand.
Yeah, I was really impressed considering you've not done a run for a while, so really good time considering.
Yeah, was there anything in this run that stuck out from maybe any of your practice runs or past runs?
Well, I went for the really dumb steel maggot strategy. I didn't get it, but
I did see that actually.
I was just a little bit off. It needed to be just a little bit further out, I think. I also got this weird glitch when I went to, I don't know if it was a glitch, but it was definitely a graphical thing when I went to Scuttletown to deliver the cannon pieces. Never seen that before.
Well, you know, speedrunners, we tend to break the game. In more ways than one.
Even unintentionally.
Yeah. I mean,
it can happen.
I mean, overall, it was a very solid run. You know, RNG didn't. You know, it wasn't your best friend, but wasn't your worst.
I got pretty lucky with the super pike balls in Cackle Tower.
Yeah, that's true. You both got a super pike ball and the super monster milk in Cackle Tower.
It's about what you want.
Yeah, I mean, not much more you can ask for.
Maybe 2 super monster milks.
Well,
That's worth a try.
I mean, I guess you could always ask for more, but you know,
I mean,
being reasonable is you gotta take that into account.
Oh. Oh well.
Anyways, do you guys have any last things to say before we wrap up?
Nothing much. I want to say thanks to Turkey for being my opponent, and thanks to the commentators for commentating. And thanks to, of course, all the speed gaming folks.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So with that being said, we're gonna wrap up here on our end. Thank you guys for watching. Once again, thanks to the runners for running, and as Mamgar said, thanks to us for being the best commentators ever. And thanks to Speed Gaming for hosting our lovely little tournament. If you are so inclined, please go follow the runners so that you can see what they are doing when they are not, destroying us all in our races. And to go follow my partner commentator as well. Don't follow me because it would be a waste of your time. I don't stream ever, so don't do that. But you should definitely go follow everyone else. And I believe that's all. So thank you guys for watching. Kisses. And goodbye.